I wanted to tell you about how I became a coach. I'm Meredith Melberg, and I've been a career coach and business coach and leadership coach over the last 14 years. My work primarily now is in career and executive coaching. And I became a coach because I was in a career that I had become good at, but was not taking all of me to fulfill. And I actually, at the time, was in therapy as well as working with a career counselor. The therapist had suggested, I was going through a tricky time in my life, and she had suggested I might want to start to think about my career differently, because I had been I was waiting to have a baby until I could change my career. And there was a moment where I realized, oh, I can change my career now. The baby will come in its own time. And so that was a real awakening for me. And I started working with a career counselor, and I fell in love with the work she was doing with me. And I decided I wanted to become a career coach. But the point is that I came to that conclusion over a period of weeks and months after doing really pretty significant reflection, stepping back from what I could do and looking at what would fill me up and what would make me feel at my highest leverage. I was good at the job I was doing. I was working in product management. I was well regarded. I made a good salary, and I certainly was productive. And yet I was feeling like my life was passing me by and things were happening that I wasn't really taking control over. So this step of discovering what really was underneath my craving for meaningful work and what I could bring to the world and what I truly longed for was such a delicious gift I gave to myself. And it wasn't something I could do by myself. I needed some guidance. And so it was super helpful to work with a career counselor at that time to help me ultimately fall in love with what she was doing and say, I want to do what you're doing. But that process then, when separated from, oh, I've got to make a move, allowed me to really make an intentional decision that then made the transition process that much more straightforward. So many people that come for coaching with us are coming in saying, I need to get that next job. And they're skipping over this delicious interval where you can say, wait a second, I'm feeling stuck. I'm at a crossroads. I really want to step back and figure out what I want to do in this next phase of my career. And so, being employed and having that luxury to take a look at what do I want to do with my professional life is such a gift that you can give yourself. There are many books, podcasts, and all kinds of resources you can use to go through that discovery process. If you're finding it hard to do for yourself, you might want to consider hiring a coach to help you and providing a framework. But I do encourage you, if you've been thinking like, wow, I can't do this much longer, I really need to make a change in my life, that you take a moment and find a way to provide yourself the outlet of being able to take a look at what would you really like to be doing if you could move in the direction that really give you a lot of energy. And it's important as part of that process to separate what's practical from what your heart wants. And what's practical will come later, but when you lead with what's practical, that diminishes your ability to think creatively about what options you could potentially pursue. Okay, thanks.